Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Julianne Meyer, and I am the host of Own Your Wellness. And I'm going to start off with a little bit of a story today. I heard from my cousin Jeff, who actually lives in California like I do, and he and I haven't talked in a long time. And his first message to me was, "Don't worry, nobody died." And it's kind of funny because that's kind of how we end up talking, is because somebody passes away. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when this really started was when my mom passed away. And for those of you who don't know, she had cancer and she did all of the normal Western medical procedures, but she really believed more in Eastern and alternative medicine. And I totally believe 100%, and so did she, that had she been able to do all the things that she wanted to, she'd still be here today. And so that's why I'm so excited for today's guest, because he brings forward something that's amazing that you guys need to know about, even if you don't have cancer. It's something to put in your pocket and use, and put in your mouth and use as well. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest, BOGDAN CHUGUNOV. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, Julianne. My name is Bogdan. It's big honor for me to be on your TV and virtually to visit your California audience, or probably all audience around the globe. I am double glad today is 2022 and I am still alive, regardless of the fact I've been unfortunately identified with gastric cancer in 2005. So 17 years, that's really a big term for me. That's actually why I started such dream to share my knowledge, to share my experience with as many as possible people. Just telling them, people, naturopathy, natural stuff really helps. The best way is to start applying natural stuff before you got identified as a cancer. So prevention, prevention, and one more time, prevention. That's my motto. That's how I live now, and that's how I do recommend you to live. I don't know about how many times you, Julia, God forbid, to realize you are on a surgery table. What things come into your mind? What things come into your audience mind? It's a very terrible to understand you are wearing a very not nice gown, you are not with your underwear, and these people standing around you just thinking about you like another guinea pig. Okay, you're gonna sleep, we're gonna get fun. I still do remember that my feeling. That's horrible feeling, because every time, and unfortunately I've been on this table already 4 times for different reasons, but 4 times I pray, I really pray to God to wake up and to see if a world does exist after me, after waking up. That's why I started my company after traveling the world, after 4 years of a Great Depression. Well, suicidal thoughts only visited me because I'm a man who feels responsibility. I brought 2 kids to United States of America. I brought my wife, and who gonna provide wealth for them if not me? That's why 4 years I've been in the middle of somewhere. I lost any desire to work. I lost any desire to do anything. I visited psychotherapist. doctors. They
Mm-hmm.
gave me a lot of pills. But after 4 years, I took myself into my hands and said, Bogdan, you, nobody else. That's actually why I collected all remaining money and start traveling. I using gear statistic. I
Mm-hmm.
try to understand, to realize why some people, why some folks, why some nations have close to zero mortality rate from cancer. And let me state in advance, I'm talking about stomach cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I am not proficient and I don't have experience with any other kind of cancers. I'm talking about gastric cancers.
So let
Adenocarcinoma.
me say something really quick here. What you're saying is that you're not a doctor, that you're sharing about what's worked for you, and that it could work for other people as well, correct?
Absolutely. Another notice for FDA. I am not a medical doctor. I am
A guinea pig.
a guinea pig, or some people call me an orthodox naturopath. Why orthodox? Because I don't have any licenses.
Hmm.
Why naturopath? Because I use only natural stuff derived from Mother Nature. That's why I use that stuff, I use that stuff, I change proportion, I change amount, I feel good, I feel bad, I record it. So my experience, I think, worth to share with people
Mm-hmm.
to understand approximately if you are 55, if you have family history, cancer history, I'm talking about. So, how many years remain and how many years you can buy?
Yeah.
Literally, you can buy because all these products that I found around the globe, they are not finally cheap. I mean, when we're talking about life, we shifting from a different scale of
Mm-hmm.
being cheap or not cheap. I'm talking about something like jar of honey, 8.8 ounces. The retail price is around $90. For honey, it's really too much.
Mm-hmm.
But for naturopathic remedies, I think it's okay if this jar is good for 15 days. So I do consume 2 jars like that per month. Yes. In retail prices, this $180 per
Yeah.
month.
But
But
I just want to say
yeah.
too that a lot of people spend that kind of money on prescription medications. So at least you'd be putting something in your body that's natural, that's helping you, correct?
Yes, and I think vast majority of American people, unfortunately, don't understand what cancer is.
Mm-hmm.
People still think that cancer is a sort of disease.
Yeah.
Based on my experience, it's not. We call it disease,
Mm-hmm.
but cancer cells, that's our body. That's why our immune system cannot fight with cancer cells. Our immune system cannot recognize
Mm-hmm.
what cancer is. That's actually why it's very important to understand that cancer, it's a mutant.
It is.
I think our generation, Julie, should remember a very nice movie, A Total Recall. You remember
Of course.
Mr. Schwarzenegger, and there is a mutant on a Mars
Mm-hmm.
who sits inside another mutant. That's actually why police department of Mars was not able to find it. So that's exactly represent cancer. It's us inside us. The problem is our organism, our body permits these cells not to be killed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge problem. We all know our cells duplicates every 24 hours, every 48 hours, depends on the tissue. And with age, Mother Nature, which is a very smart and I believe a woman, start mechanism of liquidation us.
Mm.
Based on biology, we are trash after 55. We don't need to live here. Yeah, we can laugh about it, we can smile about that, but this is truth. Because biologically, unfortunately, men have their value until they can create new generation, as well as women. As soon as we stop showing Mother Nature our ability to create new humans, we are trash. We just eating food for nothing. We consume energy for nothing. That's why this mechanism, it's turn on or turn off. Cancer, based on my understanding, is this switch. Turn off, go away, away, leave space for new generation. And we said, no, we are going to vacation after 65, now after 67. We want our retirement plan to enjoy. We have to cheat Mother Nature. We have to remain alive. That's actually why we have to consume supplements, dietary supplements, after 50, when we cannot survive without dietary supplements, based on my experience.
Interesting. So, are you saying that people have no value after 55 years old?
I said, we stopped having value from Mother Nature watch. We cannot produce anything good after 55. That's why biologically we are trash. Biologically, not mentally. Of course, people after 55 sometimes became genius, but biologically we have to live. That's actually why just century ago, 45 years old, that was a really old man. 45 years, really? Now we are laughing about it. And if we read books from 20th or 19th century, you can find such determination of the age. People after 40 being identified like old people. Oh, he's old schmuck. How old is he? 41. Now we are laughing. 41, old schmuck. Really? I just got my second job at 41. That's why we are changing. So if we think, if we dream, if we desire to live longer in healthy body, and that's what I like to outline more and more, to live longer, not in a stage of being vegetable,
Exactly.
in active body, to enjoy life, to hike, to walk, to drink,
Mm-hmm.
have sex, eat what you want. That's life. That's really what deserves to be alive. When I visited hospital in emergency room, I saw those people. I saw those real old people. They whispered, kill me, kill me. I don't want to live, please. They don't have relatives, they don't have friends. Emergency just deliver them to hospital, and hospital prolongs their life.
So my question then is, if we want to, instead of just keep people alive and help them thrive in their lifetime and in their bodies, how does honey help them do that?
Okay, if we're talking about Manuka honey, that's
Mm-hmm.
actually a long story about Manuka honey in general. Uh, so far, Manuka honey is a very tricky honey, a very tricky supplement, and very tricky functional food, let me say, because we are confined by requirements of FDA. And by FDA, we cannot call Manuka honey supplements. It's a
Mm-hmm.
food. That's why we can buy Manuka honey at grocery store, at supermarket, and rarely at holistic pharmacy or in pharmacy. So Manuka honey makes a big difference from another honey because of presence of dietary methyl glyoxal. If people gonna look at Wikipedia, methyl glyoxal, wow, it's a poison. It is. It is. It's a poison. But we are talking about milligrams per kilo. Kilo, it's a 2.2 pounds
Mm-hmm.
of this methyl glyoxal. Methyl glyoxal is chemical element that stands for our immune shield,
Mm-hmm.
immune barrier. Nobody knows how or why this methyl glyoxal kills Helicobacter pylori. It's a bacteria well known to modern scientists that creates ulcer.
Mm.
Ulcer, it's a first stage of cancer.
Interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yes, that's why Manuka honey really, really help people with stomach ulcer. And
Mm-hmm.
people like me who found not many, but polyps in a lower gut.
Mm-hmm.
So polyps, it's also mutants. And these mutants, if we let them grow up, again became cancer. That's why I am very, very nervous. That's why I am very strong in my diet, because I do believe when I consume 1 teaspoon of Manuka honey a day, it keeps all doctors away. Of course, I'm not consuming only Manuka honey. I'm consuming another ingredients like bee propolis extract, like Siberian cedar oleoresin sap based on oil. And now I start consuming shilajit.
What's that?
Oh, shilajit. It's a very interesting earth-derived substance. It says 46 million years old. In time of our planet Earth was called Pangaea.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, humans were not there. So we call Pangaea, thinking about Pangaea was 60 million years ago. Okay, no humans, we are. So we got one big continent and completely different climate. And in the area where now India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Mongolia, and a little bit Russian Federation, it was jungle. And in this jungle, we should see plants very similar to big cactuses, humongous cactuses. All these cactuses, the composition is now shilajit.
Is that something that you ingest or put on you?
I do digest it. I do mix it with water every day because it provides me with 85 micro and macro elements you can find in any other products, but you have to consume 85 products. And that 1/3 or 1/2 of a gram per day, and I am full. That's actually why I think my leg was welded for 8 weeks versus 12 that my doctor told me. So now,
so for those that are watching, they don't know what you're talking about. So can you explain about your leg?
Unfortunately, I am so lucky person. I broke my leg. I got my surgery on May 9. And doctor said, because you have 2 big fractures, you probably gonna walk in September. I said, okay, see me, watch me. And I have applied this diet. I added this shilajit to my diet, and that's what I am.
So something that I like about what you said is watch me. And I think that that's so important because so many people just take what a doctor says as the absolute truth, as opposed to an opinion and an educated guess, which is really what it is, an educated guess, because they don't actually know. I'm not saying that they aren't knowledgeable or anything along those lines, but I like the idea of creating your own future and saying, you know what, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to make this happen sooner. So, and that's exactly what you did.
You know what? Unfortunately, we have limited time. I do understand on air, and we cannot discuss many angles of view. For example, why American traditional medicine stay opposed to dietary supplements.
That has like money. That's why.
I hope your audience do understand that. But let me ask you or your audience, how many doctors really got cancer? How many doctors really felt what have a tumor inside you is? How many doctors really survived after the cancer to have some sort of moral rights, permissions to advise you what to consume or what chemical or radionuclear therapy to be admitted or to apply to you? Not many.
Yeah. You know, in all fairness and in my opinion as well, a doctor went to school for medical school. They didn't go to school to learn about food. And unfortunately, in American society, they don't take that oath from back in the day of let thy food be thy medicine. And, you know, that's why I would never go to a doctor to ask about a medication. I would go to a pharmacist because a pharmacist went to school for 8 years to become a pharmacist and knows all about medications. I would go to a nutritionist before, or a functional doctor before I would go to a regular doctor just to ask about my nutrition, simply because they did not get that education. So it's, I think it's important to mention that it's okay to ask more than one person for help when you're struggling or before you're struggling so that you aren't struggling.
I've been shockingly surprised that since 2020, 95% of dietitian and nutritionist offices here in New York City been closed.
Wow, that's crazy.
So even if I want to talk to dietitian or to nutritionist, even if I want to pay for make analysis of my blood test, how many micro and macro elements I need to add to me based on my age? What do you recommend me? I don't have options to do that.
There's always the internet. Most people can, find somebody that way.
like our family doctor says, "Oh, Bogdan, you came to me for a second opinion." I said, "Why for second opinion?" Because he said it's typically right now people coming to Google, they got a diagnosis and coming to me, ask me for the second opinion. Can you confirm Mr. Google?
Yeah, Dr. Google, absolutely.
Yes.
On that note, we do need to go to a commercial break, so we're going to be back in just a moment, okay?
Okay.
For those of you who are watching us live, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you being here. And as I mentioned, it is time for those commercials. Let me use my words. Anyway, we'll be back in just a moment. Are you someone who is struggling to move forward because you suffered a loss? Maybe you're even finding it difficult to complete the most basic tasks. Are you looking for a way to start enjoying life again without feeling guilty or the resistance to do so? Spiritual life coach Sarah Stockham saw a need for people who haven't learned how to grieve without putting their entire lives on pause. And so she created a program that solves this issue called Choosing Life Right Now. This program is simple and you can do it on your own. If you are ready to learn how to feel your grief while still being able to smile, to honor the sacredness of what took place as a loss, and yet still continue to live with joy, and if you'd like to take care of your whole being with grace and love, then I'd like to invite you to experience her new program called Choosing Life Right Now. Sarah is currently offering her program for the promotional price of $77, but it won't stay at this price for long. To learn more, check out her website. The address is on the screen.
When drug or alcohol addiction take over, things begin to disappear. Your friends, your family, and eventually, you. Recommended by Dr. Phil, New Method Wellness can help get your life back with individualized treatment plans for dual diagnosis clients. New Method Wellness provides the most highly credentialed treatment in a safe and welcome environment. Call New Method Wellness for your free consultation and ask about our national accreditations. Together, we can put the pieces back together.
Welcome back, everyone. Are you ready to learn some more about honey? Manuka honey, that is. Let's bring back our guest. Welcome back. So during the commercial break, I was thinking to myself, what are some benefits that you've seen in your body, in your mood, in your spirit since you've added this? We're going to call it a supplement to your life.
Well, Julie, of course, I started with Manuka honey. And after that, I flew to New Zealand. I spent approximately 1 month at New Zealand. I drove New Zealand from north to south and back. I spoke to people. There is not much populated country, only 4.5 million people. And that time, it wasn't many scams about Manuka honey. But since 2019, I see a lot of commercial scams started, specifically in United States market. And that's why people stop believing in Manuka honey, because 50% of New Zealand companies that currently packing Manuka honey change their owners, and now owners are Chinese nations. I have nothing against Chinese people, nothing. They are good, hardworking people. But what I see is reduced quality for Manuka honey. And people, American people, should understand there are two different kinds of Manuka honey. Manuka honey medicinal grade that really help, and Manuka honey table grade that is really good sweetener for your coffee, tea, smoothie, and everything you would like. Medicinal honey you should not swallow. You should dilute it in your mouth. Saliva should dissolve it. That's how metalglyoxal absorbed directly to your bloodstream. Never swallowed real Manuka honey. While table Manuka honey, of course, you can mix with water, you can drink, you can eat whatever you want, but do not expect any medicinal effect from that honey. That's actually why some people with low moral rate, they import Manuka honey where Manuka only exists on a label. That's why actually in 2015, New Zealand government start a program fighting with such kind of fraud. And they invented and approved grades for Manuka honey. That's why my small company, I have a company, Army of One, it's me. I do import medicinal grade Manuka honey, which I control by myself. I buy the entire barrel of honey. I do laboratory analysis. I control when it's packed. I close the container and I receive this container here in New York. That's how I'm sure it's not diluted. It's a real honey which I pay money for. Unfortunately, that honey is not cheap, but it helps.
So how does it help though? I mean, what kind of benefits have you seen? Because people, I mean, you're talking about it helping, but what are some benefits?
The major benefits from consuming regularly Manuka honey is increase your immune system. Your immune barrier is strong and high. For instance, when my wife brought coronavirus last year, she was suffering for 10 days. I killed it for 2 days and 3 nights. And we live at the same house.
So she doesn't take the honey, but you do.
Doesn't want. She doesn't want. She doesn't believe, like my
Interesting.
daughters. They're brainwashed. They visited medical colleges. They said, "Ah, Papa, it's okay. Consume if you want." But when I show them the result, you are sneezing, you are coughing. I am not. Why do you think? Oh, because that's your genetic. I said, listen, what kind of genetic? I have a cancer family history. I should be susceptible to anything. They don't want to believe. That's why, yes, I feel a little bit frustrated that inside my family, I don't have such understanding and support. They still believe, oh, okay, you're healthy. It's okay for you. It's not a gift.
So that's something that you run up against, is people not understanding the benefits, or maybe making the correlation between either taking the medicinal Manuka honey and feeling better, or they're taking Manuka honey but it's not medicinal grade. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do understand, but I have the explanation for myself. Everything is a mental. Some people do believe in water. So clear water, they drink clear water and they are healthy. The same time, people who don't believe this water is clean, they drink this water and become sick.
Yeah.
The same is here. That's why I do graduate Manuka honey with this metal glyoxal amount per kilo. And that's what I propagate people. If you want to put on a table Manuka honey and be proud of that and said your friends, I can afford Manuka honey, buy any Manuka honey from any supermarket, put on a table and make this fun. Oh, I can afford Manuka honey. But if you're really dedicated to keep your health strong, please buy real Manuka honey. Do not buy it from grocery store. Buy Manuka honey with MGO 400 and up. That's a medicinal Manuka honey. What MGO? It's metal glyoxal in milligrams per 1 kilo of honey. 400 MGO correlates to 400 milligrams of dietary metal glyoxal per 1 kilo of honey. If you dissolved 1 teaspoon of such Manuka honey every morning, the amount of dietary metal glyoxal absorbed by your body into your bloodstream is enough to kill all mutant cells. Again, I'm talking about mutant cells for ulcer, for polyps in stomach, gastric things. I am not proficient in anything else. I do consume Manuka honey to prevent that specific cause of death, gastric cancer. And after that, yes, I added bee propolis, which is another product known to humanity for last 4,000 years. But again, here in the United States, not many people know about that. Not many people understand how it works. There is zillion scientific articles published in scientific magazines that state about anti-cancerous actions of bee propolis. The problem is people don't want to read. People don't want to learn. People don't want to consume. That's why we are here.
Well, maybe. And, I'd like to say too, that there's a lot of information out there. So it's kind of hard to know what's accurate and what isn't. And the thing that I like about you is that you've used yourself as a guinea pig, as we've talked about. And so therefore, you have this basis of knowledge from your experience versus reading it somewhere and never trying it. So how long should somebody try if they're unsure, if they want to, if Manuka honey is going to work for them, but they're willing to give it a chance, how long should they give it a chance for?
I would say 90 days, 3 months, and you're gonna see. As well, I do recommend for serious people who really want to stay alive extra 2, 3, 5 years to mix Manuka honey with bee propolis extract. There is a different things like bee propolis extract and bee propolis solution.
Okay.
In most cases, in health food stores, you can buy bee propolis solution, not extract. Extract is 20 times more potent than solution. That's why I added this product under umbrella of my brand Bee Magic.
So how does one use the bee propolis?
Bee propolis, people specifically who suffer from often respiratory diseases, who has cold, flu, these two glands.
Sinuses.
Unfortunately, those people who cannot see us cannot see what I'm showing you. Yeah, it's inflammation all the time. A lot of kids suffering from that. They go to school, next day, temperature, cold or flu. That's bee propolis. Bee propolis you can apply in form of spray and you can swallow. There are two different bee propolis extract, water soluble and with alcohol. So water soluble works with water. You can swallow and it works for increase your immune system against respiratory disease. If you have something gastric problem, I do recommend to use propolis extract based on alcohol. So don't worry about word alcohol. There is a very small amount of alcohol over there, and we are talking about 20, 30 drops of
because it's an extract, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, it's not consumable as is. You have to mix it. That's why I mix it with honey, because as is, it's a terrible. You're not able to swallow that. But at the same time, yes.
So for the audience, I just want to say that it's kind of like, most people don't worry about vanilla extract. That has alcohol in it too. Unless you're an alcoholic, then it could be an issue. But that's another story.
20 drops, trust me, it's nothing. And moreover, on my website, there is my cell phone number. If you buy my product, if you don't buy my product, I am glad, I am honored to provide you with free consultation based on your age, based on your family history, based on your weight and current health condition, how to consume all these products. I don't have power to push you to buy only Bee Magic, to buy only Health Republic brand. You can buy whatever you want, but consume it right. Live longer. Be healthy. That's my motto. That's what I try to help people. That's why I want to share my experience. I think people should appreciate that. I don't charge a penny for my advice. I don't charge a single dollar for any consultation. I am glad to help people for free.
That's amazing. I'm just gonna pop up your website one more time because I want people to be able to reach out to you. So the
Yes.
products that you carry are the Manuka honey and the bee propolis. Is there anything else or anything else that they can find on your website?
Yes, they can find on our website lozenges
Hmm.
made of Manuka honey and propolis.
Oh,
Very
perfect.
good solution. Yeah, it's a pocket size,
Hmm.
so it's easy to travel with you. And every time when you feel scratchy throat, just consume one lozenge. You're gonna see what happened over 20 seconds. 20 seconds. It's work very fast.
I think that's amazing because I think about I used to get colds all of the time growing up, and taking cough medicine, it was disgusting and it grosses me out. But then I learned that pineapple juice worked really well for coughs because of the bromelain. And so I love the idea of, instead of having like a cough drop or having, you could have this amazing lozenge that is natural and will have more of a benefit than just trying to get rid of a symptom.
Julie, I like you. Shoot me your address. I'm gonna send it to you for free.
Oh, that's awesome. Woo, woo.
Unfortunately, it's emergency medicine.
Mhm.
It lasts only for 1 hour. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I would take it for an hour. I mean, in 5 minutes if it's gonna give me a break.
Yeah, unclog your throat. That's amazing. Sometimes when people cannot sleep because they coughing,
Hmm.
I found this is the best ever natural solution. There
Exactly.
is no iota of pharmaceutical stuff here.
Hmm.
Everything natural, everything made in New Zealand only. No pharmaceutical stuff. You cannot find any pharmaceutical stuff on my website. You cannot find any capsules or pills or tablets under my brand. Nothing. No temperature applied. Raw as is. If we're talking about shilajit, it's still liquidish. It is still like you can find it on a mountain.
Mm.
That's what I control. It's a very natural stuff. Even the Alexander the Great used shilajit for their army when they conquer India.
Oh, wow.
So I trust this one because my grandmom told me, Bogdan, we have to consume mumio. In Ukraine, we call it mumio, but here in United States, it's a shilajit.
Hmm.
I never pay attention to her advice. Why should I do? I was 14 years old. Now, in 57, I start to remember everything she told me. And I start consuming that. And it really works.
That's interesting that you've had this in your life for that long.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then just not that long ago, you started actually implementing that knowledge. Isn't that the way, though? It depends on who tells us sometimes.
Yes, that's true. But, the bottom line is all these products I do incorporate under two brand names. And you don't need to travel around the globe like me. I am not, I, I don't want to say I found the panacea. I am, no, they don't. It's all these ingredients, all these parts are
Mhm.
supplements. They do provide support to my health and to your health. So I do what for such statement. Do not get sick. Do
Mhm.
not go to doctor except 1 or 2 times a year to check your blood formula or to check your analysis or to check your general well-being. stay healthy. And then older we become, then less healthy we are. Then more nutrients we have to supply our body to stay alive. Some people do understand that. Unfortunately, some not. People been given with health as a gift. Gift, by definition, is something for free. But with age, we all start feeling, oh, I cannot do that anymore. I cannot run so fast as I used to do. Why? Because we become older.
Yeah. Our
And
body
this
is
is like
winding
a
down.
stamp. You are old. You are old. You are old. This is depressing. And I know many people living here in Brooklyn in 85 that do consume shilazit and propolis. They have girlfriends. 85? Really? I chat with these people. I met them. I met them regularly, at least 1 in 3 months. And they told me, yes, Bogdan, we do consume this, and that. Okay, thank you. And Bogdan write it down because Bogdan planned to reach 85 too. So I'm gonna know what to consume at age 85 to be like him and have, if not my wife, a girlfriend. Yes, I like hedonists. I like people who live like I live. I like
You want people who to experience their lives and not just sort of coast through it.
Yes, absolutely, because vast majority, they sit, they drink Coca-Cola, they smoke. How old are you? 62, and I am dying. Help me. Really, 62?
Yeah.
I hope, I wish your audience gonna listen, gonna learn, and gonna start taking care about their health, because we have nothing more valuable than our life, than our health. If we've been chosen to visit this universe, if we've been born in this realm, we carry sort of obligation to live our life in full, to run it, to have our engine working good.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. On that note, that is all the time that we have for today. I told you it goes fast. I wasn't lying.
Unexpectedly, you're right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate your knowledge and your passion about Manuka honey and all the other products that you sell. It's been absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great night. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have. So until next time, enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. We'll see you again soon.